God message for you today. The angel's message lingers in the air, carrying a sense of profound peace and clarity. You feel a deep stirring within your spirit, as though something long dormant has been awakened. The angel gazes at you with eyes full of divine understanding and speaks once more. You are more than you know. There is a power within you, not of your own making, but a gift from God. It has been there since the beginning, but now is the time for you to embrace it fully. The world may have tried to dim your light, but nothing can extinguish what God has ignited in you. The angel steps closer, their presence radiating love, warmth, and strength. Remember, every setback you've experienced has been preparation. God uses all things for good, even the moments that seemed unbearable. He has been with you through it all, shaping you, refining you, and now you are ready to step into the fullness of His purpose for your life. But know this, the angel continues, your journey will not be without challenges. The enemy will try to plant seeds of doubt, to make you question your worth and your calling. But you must stand firm in the truth that God has spoken over you. You are chosen, you are loved, you are destined for greatness, not because of your own strength, but because of the one who lives within you. The angel lifts their hand toward you, and a radiant light surrounds you, enveloping you in a divine embrace. You feel the presence of God in a way you never have before, His love, His grace, His protection all around you. Go forth with confidence, the angel declares. You do not walk alone. Heaven walks with you, and the Holy Spirit goes before you, preparing the way. Let no fear hold you back. Let no doubt cloud your vision. You were made for this moment, and God's promises over your life will not fail. As the light around you intensifies, the angel's voice becomes a gentle whisper in your heart. When you feel weak, remember that God is your strength. When you feel lost, remember that He is your guide. When you feel alone, remember that He is always with you. You are never forgotten, never forsaken, for you are His beloved child. The angel smiles once more, their wings shimmering with a heavenly glow. This is the beginning of a new season for you, a season of breakthrough, of healing, of transformation. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, for He will direct your paths. You are walking into blessings that have been prepared for you since the foundations of the world. Stay close to Him, for He delights in guiding you. With those final words, the angel begins to ascend, leaving you in the peaceful assurance that God's hand is on your life. As they fade from view, you are left with a deep sense of purpose and peace, knowing that everything the angel has spoken will come to pass in God's perfect timing. You are ready, you are chosen, you are loved. Now it's time to walk boldly into the future that God has prepared for you, trusting that every step you take is divinely guided. As the angel gazes upon you, they deliver a message filled with divine assurance. The time has come for you to step into your destiny. You have waited, you have wondered, but now is the moment to awaken to the greatness God has placed within you. The angel continues, no longer will you be held back by doubt or fear, for God has already equipped you with everything you need. Every challenge you've faced, every hardship you've endured was not in vain. They were shaping you, molding you into the vessel of light and purpose you are today. Imagine the angel extending their hand toward you, not just as a gesture of comfort, but as a call to action. Rise, the angel says. Walk in the authority that God has given you. The path before you is not one of defeat, but of victory. There will be obstacles, but know this, for every mountain, God has already given you the strength to climb it. For every storm, God has already provided shelter. You are not defined by the moments of weakness, nor by the mistakes of the past. The angel reminds you that God sees you through the eyes of unconditional love, forgiveness, and grace. This message comes to strip away the layers of self-doubt and to ignite the fire of purpose deep within your soul. Listen, the angel says softly. The heavens rejoice in who you are becoming. There is a celebration in heaven, for the moment has arrived when you will begin to live out the fullness of your calling. Do not hesitate. Do not look back. The future is filled with promise, and it is yours for the taking. As you take in the angel's words, a new awareness begins to settle in your heart. You realize that this moment is sacred. God has orchestrated everything, every trial, every triumph, every tear to lead you to this revelation. The angel wasn't sent to simply bring you comfort. They were sent to ignite your spirit and to remind you that you are a reflection of God's glory. You are a light, the angel says, and your light will lead others out of darkness. Do not be afraid to shine brightly. Your courage, your faith, your love, these are the gifts God has placed within you to transform not only your own life, but the lives of those around you. There is a divine ripple effect that is about to begin, one that will extend beyond anything you could have ever imagined. As you walk in your purpose, as you trust in God's plan, you will become a vessel of hope, a beacon of God's love for others to see. This is not just about you. It is about the countless lives that will be touched, the hearts that will be healed, and the chains that will be broken because you answered the call. The angel smiles, knowing that from this moment forward, you are walking in divine favor, guided by God's loving hand. Go now, the angel says, and walk boldly in the purpose for which you were created. The heavens are cheering you on, and God's promises are ahead of you. This is your time. This is your moment. Trust in the Lord, for He has great plans for you, plans to prosper you, to give you hope and a future. The journey has only just begun. Felt before. That energy was coming from you. This angel who had witnessed countless souls was struck by the brilliance within you, a light so unique that even a celestial being was moved. You see, God has placed something incredibly special inside of you. It is something that even you may have overlooked in the struggles of everyday life. This is why the angel was sent, not just to deliver a message, but to remind you of who you truly are. You are a creation of immense value, woven with purpose and potential. God sees the strength, the beauty, and the power within you, even in moments when you feel weak or uncertain. The angel brings not only a revelation, but also a divine calling. You are being called to step into the fullness of your identity, to walk with confidence in the direction God has been preparing for you. It's time to embrace that power within, to let go of fear, and to allow God's plan to unfold in your life. There will be challenges, yes, but remember, the angel came with a promise of guidance. You are never alone. Every step you take, even the hard ones, will be watched over and protected by God's loving presence. Trust in this and let your light shine, for it is meant to inspire and bless others in ways you may not even realize yet. This is your moment to rise, to trust, and to believe that the divine journey set before you is filled with miracles waiting to unfold. God has chosen you for this time, for this purpose, and the angel was sent to remind you, you are ready. As the angel continued to watch over you, something remarkable began to unfold. Each day, your life revealed new layers of depth, moments of quiet reflection, times of struggle, and bursts of joy that radiated outward, affecting everything around you. It was as if you carried within you the echoes of eternity, whispers of something greater than even the angel had understood. He realized that your existence was not merely coincidental, but part of a grand design, woven into the very fabric of the universe. You were created with intention, crafted with gifts and strengths that had the power to impact both the visible and invisible realms. The angel's mission grew clearer, not only to observe, but to assist in your journey of discovery, to help you recognize your divine identity and the role you are meant to play. Yet in all his wisdom, the angel knew that true growth could only come from within. He could guide, protect, and inspire, but the journey ahead was yours to walk. The challenges you faced were not obstacles, but invitations, opportunities to grow closer to your Creator, to deepen your faith, and to live fully in the purpose set before you. And so the angel whispered to your heart, "Do not fear the unknown. You are seen, beloved, and surrounded by divine presence. Every step you take, whether in doubt or faith, is watched over by heaven itself. You are not alone, and you are not without purpose." Even as you walked through valleys of uncertainty or climbed mountains of difficulty, the angel marveled at your resilience, your ability to rise after every fall, to hope in the face of despair, and to love despite pain, revealed something divine within you, a reflection of God's grace. You carried within you the breath of the Creator, a power so profound that even the angel stood in awe. With each new discovery, the angel saw more clearly that your life was a journey of becoming. You were not defined by your past, nor limited by your weaknesses, but shaped by a greater destiny, a destiny that had the power to ripple through the universe itself. God's hand was at work in your life, molding you into the person you were always meant to be. The angel could see the truth now. You are a vessel of divine love, a light in the world, even in the moments when you doubt your own worth. You are part of a story so vast and beautiful that even the angels desire to understand it fully. And just as the angel draws nearer to you, so too does God. He is with you, guiding every step, revealing the path as you trust in Him. "Keep moving forward," the angel whispers. "Your journey is sacred. Your life is a testimony of God's unending love and grace, and the universe is watching in wonder as you fulfill the purpose that only you can fulfill." As time passed, the angel's admiration for you deepened, for he witnessed something profound, an unwavering strength that stirred even the highest realms. The struggles you faced were not small. They tested your faith, your will, and your heart. Yet each time you were met with hardship, you found a way to rise, not by your own might, but by drawing from a strength beyond yourself. The angel recognized this as the Spirit of God alive within you, the same Spirit that empowers you to persevere through the darkest nights and celebrate in the light of victory. And it wasn't just your strength that captivated him, it was your heart. Even in moments of doubt and weariness, you chose love. You chose to forgive when it was difficult, to extend grace when it wasn't deserved, and to show kindness when you could have remained indifferent. These choices were not lost in the grand scheme of things. They were seeds planted in the unseen realms, making an eternal impact far beyond what you could comprehend. Each act of love was a reflection of God's heart shining through you, and the angel could see the beauty of this divine expression in ways you could not. There was something else the angel noticed, something that set you apart in a world often clouded by confusion and fear: your willingness to trust. Even when the way forward was unclear, and even when you felt the weight of uncertainty pressing on your shoulders, you chose to place your trust in God. You didn't have all the answers, and sometimes the path seemed hidden in shadow, but in those moments, your faith was your guide. And in that faith, the angel saw the brilliance of something eternal. "You are more than you know," the angel whispered to your spirit. "The heavens are moved by your trust. Every time you lean into God's promises, you become a beacon of hope, a living testimony to the faithfulness of the one who created you." Though you may not have realized it, your life was influencing those around you. The energy that the angel had first felt emanating from you was not a force of your own making. It was the reflection of God's glory working through you, touching everything and everyone in your path. Your story was a reminder that no life is insignificant, no moment wasted in the grand design of God's plan. Every step you took in faith created ripples, affecting not only the present, but also the future, in ways only the Creator could see. And so, as the angel continued to walk alongside you, he too began to change. This divine mission to observe and protect you had become something far more intimate. The angel wasn't just witnessing your journey, he was becoming part of it. Your faith, your resilience, your courage, all of it was teaching him as much as he sought to teach you. It was as if God had placed you in each other's lives to reveal a deeper truth, that heaven and earth are intertwined, and that even the angels learn from the mysteries of human faith and love. The angel, in his own quiet reverence, marveled at the magnitude of what God was doing through you. He knew that your story was still unfolding, that greater things were yet to come. And so, he whispered to you once more, "Do not be afraid of the future. You are held in the hands of the Almighty, and his plans for you are good. You are destined for things beyond your imagination. And with every prayer you uttered, every moment you sought God's presence, the angel knew that you were drawing closer to your true purpose. The bond between you and the divine was growing stronger, and with it a clarity was beginning to form in your heart. The questions you had once asked, the doubts, the fears, were slowly being answered, not in the way you had expected, but in ways that were far more beautiful and profound. The angel knew that this was only the beginning. Your life was a journey of discovery, of revelation, of becoming the person God had always intended you to be. And with every step, heaven rejoiced, for you were walking in the light of God's love, fulfilling a destiny that was written in the stars long before you ever took your first breath. "Keep walking in faith," the angel whispered. "You are never alone, and the one who created you is with you every step of the way. Your story is precious, and your journey is sacred." As the angel continued to watch over you, he sensed a shift. There was something new unfolding in your heart, an awakening, a stirring of purpose that had long been dormant. You began to realize that the journey you were on was not just about survival or endurance. It was about flourishing in the life God had designed for you. Slowly, the dreams and desires planted deep within your soul were starting to rise to the surface. You felt them, like sparks of light, urging you to step forward into something greater than yourself. The angel could see it clearly. This was a moment of transformation, a divine invitation for you to embrace who you truly are. All the struggles, the doubts, the trials, they had been preparing you for this very season. Now you stood on the edge of something extraordinary, with the potential to step fully into the purpose for which you were created. And yet, even in this moment of possibility, the angel could sense hesitation. You felt the weight of your own limitations, the fears that whispered, "You are not enough." These were the same doubts that had accompanied you through the valleys, the voice of the enemy trying to convince you that you were incapable of the greatness God had placed within you. But the angel knew better. He saw beyond the surface, into the depths of your soul where God's truth had been written long before time began. He saw the strength that had carried you through every storm, the faith that had kept you moving even when the path seemed uncertain. He knew that within you was the power to overcome, not because of who you were on your own, but because of the one who lived within you. And so, the angel spoke softly into your heart. Do not be afraid of your own potential. God has placed dreams within you, not to tease or frustrate you, but because He intends to bring them to life. What you see as weakness, He sees as an opportunity for His strength to shine. What you view as limitations, He views as the perfect canvas for His miracles. With those words, something inside you began to shift. The hesitation was still there, but now it was mingled with hope, a hope that maybe, just maybe, God's plans for you were more beautiful and expansive than you had ever imagined. You began to realize that the dreams in your heart weren't random or misplaced. They were divine seeds planted by God Himself, waiting to be nurtured and grown. The angel smiled as he watched this new sense of possibility take root in your spirit. You were beginning to see yourself the way heaven saw you, worthy, capable, beloved, and filled with divine potential. You were starting to understand that the obstacles in your life were not meant to hold you back, but to shape and strengthen you for the journey ahead. "You are ready," the angel whispered. "The time has come to step into the fullness of who you are. God has been preparing you for this moment, and now He is calling you forward. Do not fear failure, for He goes before you. Do not fear inadequacy, for His power is made perfect in your weakness." As the angel's words echoed in your heart, you felt a renewed sense of courage rise within you. You realized that the path ahead would not be easy, but it would be worth it. And you were not walking it alone. God's hand was guiding you, and the angel's presence was a constant reminder that you were surrounded by divine help. With every step you took, the angel marveled at the unfolding of God's plan in your life. He saw the ripple effect of your obedience, how your courage inspired others, how your faith ignited faith in those around you. You were no longer just surviving. You were becoming a beacon of hope, a vessel of God's love, a reflection of His glory. The angel knew that there were still challenges ahead, but he also knew that you had everything you needed to face them. The same power that had raised Christ from the dead was alive in you, giving you the strength to overcome every obstacle, to rise above every fear, and to fulfill the destiny for which you were created. And so, the angel whispered one final truth to your heart. You are destined for greatness, not by the world's standards, but by God's. You are His masterpiece, created for good works that He prepared in advance for you to do. Walk boldly, knowing that every step you take is part of a divine journey that will lead you to the fullness of life in Christ. As those words settled into your soul, you felt the weight of your purpose, both humbling and empowering. You understood now that your life was not just your own. It was part of a story much larger, much grander than you had ever imagined. And with that understanding came a peace, a deep assurance that you were exactly where you needed to be, and that the one who had begun a good work in you would be faithful to complete it. So you stepped forward, not in fear, but in faith. You knew that the road ahead would be marked by challenges, but also by the unfailing presence of God. And as the angel walked beside you, he rejoiced, for he knew that you were stepping into the fullness of your destiny, a destiny that would reveal God's glory to the world in ways that even the angels could scarcely comprehend. As you stepped forward into this new chapter, there was a quiet resolve within you, a newfound strength born from trust in the one who had been with you all along. The angel watched in awe as you embraced the truth of your calling, no longer weighed down by the doubts that once held you captive. Instead, you began to walk in the freedom that comes from knowing you are chosen, seen, and empowered by God Himself. Every step you took now carried a deeper significance. You no longer moved through life as if merely existing. You walked with purpose, aware that each moment, each decision was a thread in the grand tapestry that God was weaving through your life. And with this awareness came a shift in your perspective. What once seemed like mundane tasks or ordinary moments were now seen as opportunities for God to work through you. The angel noticed this change, the way your heart softened toward others, how you began to see people not just as passing figures in the background of your life, but as souls with their own stories, their own divine purposes. You saw the divine image in every person you encountered, and this shifted everything. You began to love with a new depth, to forgive with a grace that surprised even yourself, and to extend kindness with a generosity that could only come from the Spirit of God working through you. And this, the angel knew, was where true greatness lay, not in the grand gestures or public victories, but in the quiet, unseen moments where you reflected the love of God in a world so desperate for it. Every time you chose love over bitterness, hope over despair, faith over fear, heaven rejoiced. The angel could see the ripple effects of these choices, how they reached far beyond what you could see, impacting lives in ways you could never fully know. But as with any journey, there were moments when the road grew difficult again. There were times when the weight of your calling felt too heavy, when the challenges seemed insurmountable, and the darkness threatened to overshadow the light. In those moments, the angel stood by your side, ever watchful, whispering reminders of the truth that had been spoken over you from the beginning. "Do not give up," he urged gently. "You are not walking this path alone. Every struggle, every trial is refining you, preparing you for the greater things God has in store. His strength is made perfect in your weakness, and he will carry you through even the darkest valleys." And though the challenges persisted, something within you had shifted. You no longer saw these moments as signs of failure or weakness, but as opportunities to lean deeper into God's presence, to draw from his strength rather than your own. You began to understand that it was not about avoiding the storms, but about trusting the one who calms them. The angel marveled at your resilience. Even when doubt crept in, even when the way forward seemed unclear, you never lost sight of the truth that had been planted in your heart, that you were deeply loved, chosen, and called for a purpose far beyond what you could see. In the midst of the struggle, you began to experience a new kind of joy, one that wasn't dependent on your circumstances, but rooted in the unshakable truth of who God is. It was a joy that came from knowing that you were part of something eternal, something that stretched beyond this world and into the very heart of heaven. And the angel knew that this joy, this deep, abiding joy, was the key to your victory. For it was a joy that could not be stolen by hardship or dampened by fear. It was a joy that came from the realization that no matter what you faced, God's love for you remained constant, his plans for you unchangeable. As you continued on your path, this joy became your strength, a wellspring of hope that carried you through every season. You were no longer striving in your own power. You were resting in the assurance that God was working all things together for your good, even when you couldn't yet see the full picture. The angel watched as this truth took root in your heart, and he knew that you were becoming exactly who God had called you to be, a beacon of light in a world that so often wandered in darkness. Your life was a living testimony of God's grace, a reflection of his love, and a reminder that no matter how small or insignificant you might feel at times, you are part of a much larger story. A divine story that is still being written. You are walking in your purpose, the angel whispered with joy. Even when the way is hard, even when you can't see what's ahead, trust that God's hand is guiding you. You are never alone. His promises are true, and his plans for you are far greater than anything you could ever imagine. And with those words, you felt a deep peace settle over you. A peace that came from knowing that no matter where this journey led, you were held securely in the hands of the one who had called you by name. You were exactly where you needed to be, and nothing, no obstacle, no fear, no doubt could ever take you out of his purpose for your life. So you continued to walk, not in fear, but in faith, knowing that every step forward was a step closer to the fulfillment of the beautiful destiny that God had prepared for you long before the foundation of the world. And as you walked, heaven watched with wonder, for they knew that what lay ahead for you was far greater than you could ever dream. Share this video if you love God. Subscribe this channel for more